um there is more, because there is like creator's message. So I don't know if it's the same. Yeah, no, it is the same. Okay, so actually it is twice the same. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to actually like normal YouTube, and let's check out. So I saw like Vtubers, yay or nay? It's a big yay for me, because I think that
Real has many.
like so we will talk like I will react to the insane rise of VTubers and why I hate them. So I will give my opinion on the VTubers before we start, and I think, and then we'll check out what he has to say and why I hate them. On my from my personal fucking experience, when it comes to business, the more actors, the better, and the better the industry. Meaning that like if streaming has more actors in it, it is a better industry and a safer industry to be in. So it doesn't matter if it's VTubers, it can be fucking Furies if you want, bro. Like it can be like a bunch of the military. Like I don't give a fuck. If we have like more actors on Twitch and YouTube, it means that like it's creates richness in richness, variety as well, and it solidifies like cement, uh, uh, like it hardens, like it makes the working in this industry safer. The more actors, the safer the more actors in an industry, the safer the industry. And when it comes to VTubers, I think that the fact VTubers existed long before because Vocaloids, right? If you actually like are a fan of Japan, you'll understand that VTubing is actually not new. It was on Nico Nico before, and so basically it is something that just like finally reached the Western audience, so the Western world, the Western internet. But I think that like what's really cool, like I will tell you this as someone who supports LGBTQ plus and who is a feminist. Uh, like I am quite happy about VTubers because it brings gender variety to the industry that I am involved in. Do you know what it is to fucking like have like girlfriends, have like groups of like feminine friends, you know, like, and basically like or like basically varied friends. And then you go into an industry where it's only like there's only men in it. Like it's cool, it's not. It sucks. Like it sucks. It's takes away like some variety. And to be honest, like it's like I prefer like I think that like it's a great thing that like we get more fresh blood into this industry. And the fact that like there is something that like people do not think about. There was like this whole like debate about like uh, girl streamers that do basically like um, sexualized content uh, on non-sexual non-sexual platforms. And basically the debate was like it was the bathtub streams and all this stuff. And I fucking like I will use the same logic as I was using. I'm better off having like a bunch of and ISMR. Yeah, people hated ISMR, but still consumed, right? Basically, I will use the same argument. More people in the fucking pool, more people in the fucking industry means more varied, more interesting, more unpredictable, and more and a safer industry for people like me and for people like everyone. Because do you know what the fuck protects you from YouTube falling down, like YouTube like being deleted, or Twitch being deleted, or Google being deleted, or any type of industry? If it's become like it's relevancy. So if YouTube becomes completely irrelevant, well, no more YouTube. You got fucking Daily Motion. That's what I mean. If Twitch fucking like is not relevant enough, well, fuck you. We don't have a streaming platform anymore, and we have to fucking deal with the fact that like the consequences of um or basically like or comforts being taken away because it's not because the industry that is allowing us to be comfortable is actually failing. Meaning that the more Twitch streamers, the better. The more YouTubers, the better. The more content creators, the better. And I don't give a fuck. And I will touch on a last thing is that like while some people like complain about the sexualization of girl streamers, and the fact that like they kind of abuse their male audience by being by I don't know, by being what's the word, being attractive. I'm like, the people that get fucking like caught, right, are adults or like teenagers. Bro, like if you struggle to live in life because a girl is kind of too pretty and she makes you fucking like she makes you spend money on her just because you're a fucking simp, it's your problem, not hers. You're the one stupid. But don't fucking come complain to the girl, because the girl lives in a fucking like scary world where people do fucking like do you know, I have like girls that like I know some of my friends are girl streamers, and do you know how many fucking like weird messages they fucking get, or many fucking weird like weird interactions they get on the internet? Many. It's more than for some they get more like weird weird and strange like interaction with other men, than they get like normal ones. Okay, so the fact that like people fucking complain, it's like, yeah, complain, but you complain to a girl that like do like maybe sometime like a little bit of questionable content when it comes to like guidelines, when it comes to like well, basically like nudity and just like showing your body, right? But at the same time, the same girl the same girls do not complain about the fucking sexual harassment that they fucking like have to deal with on a daily basis. So be a fucking man about it. And don't fucking like come cry, come be a fucking bitch because you cannot fucking handle the fact that like a girl is successful thanks to what you think is being pretty, while in reality she is working as much as any other streamers. Like I'll give you the example of people dislike people a lot of people fucking dislike Amaranth or Alinity, right? Typical like bathtub streamer, like sexy streamer, right. Check how many hours she fucking stream, and check out what the fuck she actually does during these bathtub streams and stuff. She actually fucking talks, and she actually fucking do the fucking stuff, like the same fucking stuff that male streamers do. And no one, and you can actually notice like you can actually notice that like they actually do the same stuff that we as like male streamers we do, in just different conditions. Okay, another thing, VTubers is another case of I don't want to be sexually harassed as a girl, or be judged. So this gives a lot of leisure to girls that want to join the industry, which is good, because like I don't know for you, but for me, like 50-50 male female industry is better than a male industry. Like like it just sucks. Like it just sucks to have a male driven industry. Like having a 50-50 is the best. Like as as a feminist, a 30-70 will be the greatest. But anyway, for VTubers, like it allows a lot of girls that are like not fucking amaranth that can fucking like show up and is a fucking 15 out of 10 or like a looking girl to fucking do their stream while being a girl while not being stigmatized for the fact that like they're not as pretty as you would like. Did you saw many like not ugly streamers but like just like non-supermodel male streamers there is that are successful? Yeah, well, no one fucking give a fuck that they're not pretty. I'm not the prettiest boy as well, you know? But for a girl, you're stigmatized way more when you are fucking like not pretty, basically. And while it's not like always the case, it is the case enough for and VTubing allow for like a girl to keep to be anonymous and be a girl on the internet without like fucking like people telling you like doing remarks about your body, for example. You know, many times like a male streamer gets like remarks about his body, like damn, you got some good like chest going on. What the fuck is your arm? These legs, man. Like we don't get that. They do. Okay? And so not having to deal with this nonsense is actually really fucking great if you ask me. And so there is that. And let's talk about like one last thing that girls like basically girls and only some streamers like from what I heard PewDiePie and XQC suffer from. But for girls it's really fucking dangerous. Fucking stalkers. So basically, like basically you're a pretty girl on the internet doing your thing, and then you fucking end up with a fucking stalker. And on this one, I'm telling you, like this must be terrifying. And basically, it's really great that like with VTubing, you avoid stalkers as well. It protects you against stalkers, and some people are not willing. Well, you get the point. A girl's life is more difficult on the internet, at least now, than boys' life. Okay, and my opinion about like VTubers, because like VTubers are mostly girls, is this is great. It more variety, more actors in the industry that I work in is always a blessing. And on top of that, more like weeb stuff, like basically because they're all weebs. Great, I fucking love weeb stuff. On top of that, yeah, adding gender variety to the industry that I work in, really fucking awesome. I hate the fact that I will hate the fact that like Twitch content creation or streaming like would be like an industry only where you can only see fucking dudes. Like it's it must sound stupid, but like it is what it is. So yeah. So for me, the rise of VTubers is a fucking miracle and a really enchanting one. All right, well, this was my opinion about VTubers. So with this introduction about a fuck you, like why do you hate why do you hate? Maybe it's not as bad. Let's listen to the point of this guy, because I don't want to be mean to this guy. Actually, he does like Scambly reviews, does good reviews. Like he's a good guy. Like I am just like a little critical because like I hate sexism, and basically yeah, like I'm basically like a dude that tells you like well fucking no. Why does he hate them? Rise of VTubers and why I hate them. Okay, let's check it out.
Definitions, but if I were to pick one right... Real has many definitions, but if I were to pick one right now, I would say behaving or presenting in a way that feels true, honest, or familiar without pretension or affection.
I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. I scream, you scream, we all scream.
This is not a real person. Get out of my head, get out of my head, get out of my head, get out of my head. If you haven't seen one, this is called a VTuber. It's, for the most part, someone with motion tracking software who operates under the guise of an anime person. Many of them adopt mannerisms to better fit the backstory they made for their character. For example, this one likes referencing carrots because she's a rabbit, or this one...
Which is cute, which is something adorable, which is something that like I like. Like I personally like the fact that like you get to fucking not being in this fucking like a cruel, nonchalant world of like fuck you, like I'm a dude, and you get to the stream of a girl and she's like, yeah, basically I created my own backstory for this fantasy character that I am kind of overplaying it because because I find it fun and because I want to make it interesting and because I want to feel like an anime character and make you feel like you're talking to an anime character, which I find awesome.
One who pretends to be bad at basic math because it's cute. There's all sorts of characters and backstories, and nearly all of the most well-known ones are either Japanese or English-speaking women. I have to give this definition because I've shown exactly 3 people this in real life and have gotten, quote, what the fuck is that? Is this real? And do people actually watch this? In response, all of them laughed. Yet almost every single one of the top 15 highest earning super chats on YouTube are owned by VTubers. Look at Giga, he looks like he's about to get his fucking nails clipped at the vet. YouTubers everywhere will not stop posting about them. They're clearly popular, so I think it's important to approach this with an open mind. VTubers are not inherently bad. In fact, so many of them are extremely talented and natural-born entertainers that can captivate an audience of millions without being obsessed with drama or being negative in the slightest. Many of them play instruments, sing, and play games at a high level. These girls are famous for a reason, usually. But I don't understand the appeal on a personal level.
Come on, baby, kiss me. Kiss me. Kiss me, Mario.
My friend...
I will tell you the appeal. You watch 1,000 animes and then you go on stream, like you kind of like do your thing and you go on stream on a streaming platform and you discover that like after watching 1,000 animes, your reward is that actually you can watch streaming like a character from anime doing streaming. This is the appeal.
Friend who enjoys VTubers watched this clip and was in pure glee. I've only heard this fat bastard rant about 2 things. This clip and some sandwich called the fucking heart clogger that he gets from the grocery store. So I knew that this was special. But when I watched that clip, I honestly wanted to rip her hair out and stuff it in my ears and light the ends on fire like a wick. I hate...
What's wrong with cuteness? What is wrong with... What's wrong with people want to be adorable and other people want to watch adorable people? I don't get it. I'd rather fall asleep to someone that like is adorable and doesn't fucking like scream like fucking like train wrecks or like Tyler 1, because I like to fall asleep to... Sometimes I fall asleep to watching Twitch, right? Watching streamers. I'd rather fucking like I choose a fucking VTuber over a fucking like Tyler 1 or Trainwrecks TV or Asmongold to fall asleep to. What's wrong with cuteness? What's wrong with being adorable?
I hate VTubers. When I see them on screen, my heart starts pumping, my eyes go bloodshot, and I go dizzy. Why? How did these guys blow up under so many people's noses? Where did they come from? I want to answer these questions because honestly the video was just going to be a quick rant, but I gradually became fascinated in the plot twists and reasons why people enjoy VTubers. So those of you who love them and people who hate them, hold hands as I take you through Act 1. In 2000, Yamaha sound guy Ken Mochi Hideki starts a project called Daisy, which aims to generate human-sounding vocals from text like beep, beep, bop, bop, beep, kind of like Animal Crossing. Thanks to Yamaha, Daisy got promoted and fully fleshed out as Vocaloid, which was released in 2004 and marketed towards professional musicians. The problem is, at the time everyone thought, robots, professional software, this is baby shit. Nobody cared about it and it was dismissed as just a toy. But very slowly over the years, Vocaloid was being taken more and more seriously. And in 2007, Krypton Media has an idea. They take Vocaloid, make mascots, make the main mascot 16, and drop a new sound pack. It worked. Hatsune Miku was hot. Music artists would make collabs with her Vocaloid pack and animate her moving and shit. This caught on in Japan like crazy. Eventually, she starts selling out actual concerts. She tops out iTunes' best-selling chart. An unbelievable amount of porn is made. But the big takeaway here is that Japan discovered something big. Hatsune Miku is marketable as fuck. Dominoes, clothing, Funko Pops, hot dogs, or something. It didn't just matter that Hatsune Miku could hit iTunes' top 10 list a week after making a song. What mattered was that we can completely manufacture a cultural phenomenon, manipulate every part of her persona, and not have to pay them royalties for making merch, commercials, or collaborations. It's genius. Oh, your influencer got caught doing blackface again this month. I just fucking programmed mine not to do that. Now, does it work 100% of the time? Well, that's a complicated. It's estimated that in 2012,
Yeah, the argument of fucking like not like despising someone because adorable is fucking like sounds really stupid when the next argument is that like your boy like has to fucking like control himself to not fucking say the N-word, do blackface, being racist, sexist, or like do something so questionable that no one ever thought could be fucking like could be a fucking crime technically. Like, this is the world we live in, where it's like, fuck being adorable, fuck, like, innocence, fuck, beauty. We're trying to play as if we are hardcore, while everyone is fucking uneducated, fucking stupid, and I am kind of like the argument of it's adorable and I fucking hate it. I do not understand. I love the creator. I think that like he has really good takes about anime. I do not understand why the fuck. Watch some anime. You need to watch some other animes. Like earlier in the stream, I said like there was like a slice of life anime talking about geology. Like just watch that. Like stop fucking like playing Call of Duty all the time and fucking like play the games like where you pretend to be God, right? And fucking like take the time to fucking chill the fuck out. And you'll understand that like actually like content that is just like adorable and just like just chill, kawaii, you know, is something like really good for health, mental health. Maybe there wouldn't be like this much fucking like people being such degenerates if people took the time to fucking like not fucking think that like I don't know, that good stuff is not good. I don't know how to say it.
Hatsune Miku acquired a whopping 10 billion yen since her debut, which translates to a whopping $6 USD. Seeing this, an unknown production crew thought, hey, I could do that, and debuted Kizuna AI in 2016. She very closely resembles the Vtubers today, but instead of running the risk of it being a fat middle-aged Hispanic man, Kizuna AI is actually like 8 middle-aged fat Hispanic men. She debuted on YouTube in November of 2016 and mostly creates largely scripted and pre-recorded content.
レッツチャレンジザ飛びますせーのあれ
Look at her. Those were fucking babies.
せーの
Which wasn't really a problem with people. Anime is scripted and people certainly love those characters. So
Let me just check something really fast.
So it only makes sense that there's an appeal for something like Kizuna to exist. I believe that most people aren't under the impression that this is a real girl with a real personality and, you know, blah, blah, blah. In fact, she's basically a goddamn puppet. Even her voice actress is completely disposable. I think I read she's got like 5 substitutes that share her cold metal cage of a body. And Japan had done it again. Kizuna was a goddamn hit. She's the cover girl of Cup Noodle. She's been on the TV and news multiple times, done ads, and honestly, more impressive than all of that, she collaborated with PewDiePie. Enter the third major character, HoloLive. Cover Corp, which works with alternate reality, sees the massive success of Hatsune Miku and Kizuno Ai and says, hey, I could do that. So they did. Sometime in 2017, Cover Corp released a smartphone app called HoloLive, which would allow you to view a VTuber live while they stream. This changes things. Yep. It's only one fat guy now. HoloLive held auditions for extremely talented women, and jokes aside, a lot of them are also very pretty in real life. Now, there may be some coaching involved, but for the most part, these girls have creative control over what they stream, if or not they curse, etc., and HoloLive provides them with a rigged up 3D model, an iPhone X, and a high-spec gaming PC. Blah, blah, blah. They're basically a management company for aspiring VTubers. You could be a VTuber. Unless you're a guy, then chances are slim. And of course, this caught on fire in other
Actually not. There is like in the VTubing industry, like there is also like you can be a dude, like, but it's more something that you can do on YouTube or you can do on YouTube or Twitch. You don't have a fucking agency, but if you're good, I've seen like there are like some VTubers that are male on YouTube that are doing really interesting stuff and really cool stuff.
companies thought,
but these are actually the fat dudes that like he talks about. No, they're not even fat. Just saying,
hey,
like,
I could do that. So they did. But instead of just working in Japan, Nichi Sanji went Mr. Worldwide and spread out in China, Japan, Indonesia, India, and Korea. So HoloLive said, hey, I could do that. And then there was a ton of VTubers all over the world. The end. Holy shit, America likes VTubers. Gargara comes flying up in the charts and is the most searched for VTuber in 2020. Mori Callipy comes straight out of nowhere at a tremendous upset. See, if you liked anime at all and watched a VTuber video once thinking, what is this? Surprise, these little fuckers are going to ruin your recommended feed forever. Enjoy. So a lot of Americans were already introduced to VTubers, especially since there are channels dedicated to taking funny clips from their streams and translating them just hours after the fact. You have an abundance of binge-worthy content, and now HoloLive is making an English branch, coupled with Japan's aging population and business.
I will say it again. An industry that is more varied, that has more actors, is a better industry and a safer industry to work in and to enjoy as a consumer.
Was booming. It still is. Japan, America, Indonesia, VTubers have triumphed over what's considered normal to cement themselves as a very real and lucrative industry. September 24th, 2020. Akai Hato goes over her analytics with her audience to see which countries watch her the most.
アメリカ11%で台湾7%。
Did you catch that? That's okay, neither did she. Kiryu Coco, who's one of the biggest VTubers in the world, does the same thing the next day. And thus, the two slept as some rich-ass bitches. Someone was at the door.
Who is it?
She replies, the Chinese.
What the fuck?
Both Hato and Coco made the mistake of mentioning Taiwan in their analytics, which China does not officially recognize as an independent country. Chinese viewers were not happy. In fact, they were pissed. And if you don't know, Asian countries go hard as fuck with their trolling. Coco and Hato were suspended for 3 weeks for saying the word Taiwan. But the viewers were not satisfied. Well, they believed that Akai Hato had made an honest mistake. That harlot Kiryu Coco had to pay. Raids, smear videos, multiple VTubers were doxxed, anything to get revenge. They even go so far as
Take the time to remember that, like, you who are watching are probably living in a non-totalitarian, like in a democracy. You know, take the time to just like think about what he just said, you know, and take the time to remember that you live in a democracy. Be fucking grateful about it. You know, this is just needed to fucking say that.
to continuously buy YouTube accounts to keep it going. One guy even allegedly dropped his social credit score to 0 and ruined his life because he used a VPN. This new faction is called the Antis. Because Hololive has yet to ban Coco, they've developed a vendetta against the company. To this day, they're kind of active. You can see them in chat or their Facebook propaganda, which is banned in China, so they gotta be using a VPN to spoof their location to a nearby country, just saying. Hololive then had two options. They can continue expanding in China and allow their new Chinese overlords to permanently ban VTubers on a whim, or leave, which they did. And that's the story of how a single word dissolved the entire Chinese branch of Hololive. Didn't really do much though. Yeah, it was on the news and Hirohei made like 600 videos about it, but VTubers just kind of moved on and are doing better than ever. Finally, the next generation. Remember how we found out VTubing is pretty big here? Well, a bunch of English-speaking boys and girls started paying hundreds all the way up to thousands for rigging commissions, avatars, etc. It's now gotten to the point where anyone with a camera can go, hey, I can do that, because they literally can.
Bro, this is like, he explains exactly what streaming has become for everyone. Yeah, you just take a camera and you can become a Twitch streamer or a YouTuber. As simple as that. Why is it wrong that the access to technology is a bad thing? Explain to me.
And this is where a lot of cringe comes in for me personally. Act 3. We've learned the history of VTubers, but now can we get a little bit more personal? If you enjoy them, that's your business.
Because technically, what he said is he probably told himself when he was like watching anime, well, I see all these reviews, I can do that as well. Why do you criticize the fucking neighbor that fucking just had a different style from you? Like, I don't understand.
And hopefully you can find
This doesn't make him a bad person. I think that he just like has his own vendetta against like VTubing because of the culture that is surrounding it, that I disagree with. But I think that like overall it doesn't make like, you know, an opinion that is not like an opinion that I do not like agree upon. Like, since the dude is not a fucking like racist or like a fucking sexist or a fucking like I'll fucking, you know, you add the ist to fucking like, doesn't make him like a bad person or a bad YouTuber or a bad like content creator. Just so you know that like because it always feels like kind of like strange to criticize someone that you like, but at the same time it's just one opinion in the millions of opinions that this guy has made during his YouTube career that I disagree with. I agree with a lot of different ones, you know?
And what I've been saying so far entertaining. But for my boys,
I am the greatest treasure hunter the world has ever seen.
Look, I personally can't get into that because I personally find it creepy, horrifying, disturbing, and to be honest with you, kind of fucked up in the head.
the boys that understand,
Yeah, that's like there's the part where like this the infantilization is really creepy. But like a lot of like VTubers are actually fucking adults. But I agree with this one.
She's an anime woman just sitting there doing screaming in Japanese, and it's scary, alright?
this is for you, bro. Not really the first guy though, he was going crazy. I honestly thought I was alone in despising these trollops. Online, I see overwhelming love for VTubers, and
I think that like the idea of hating is something that is wrong. You do not hate something. It is not your style. It is not your style of content. Once you replace the idea of hating by taste, you actually make your life quite easier and quite healthier, because you will because I will tell you because you will not say I hate this content. You will tell yourself this content is not my style, it's not for me. And because of that, you will not start to fucking like wage a war in your head against like or become like hateful of someone that you either do not understand, do not like, or are not interested in. And this is really important. So the difference, it's really like really basic difference, like a stupid logic, but the logic is to say like instead of saying I hate like for example VTubers, VTubers are not my style of content creator. Like, it's something like really like a detail, but if you actually fucking start to think like that, you will resolve a lot of fucking like conflicts that you have like with people that you actually don't even fucking give a fuck about. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but at least for me it functions, you know? Anyway.
As much as I'm happy for those people, and especially the VTubers themselves, who've earned a spot atop the most well-known streamers around, I still think it's super fun to make fun of them. And I haven't really seen a lot of my kind out there, so let me break it down. I do not understand them. People have often used the phrase cute girls doing cute things to describe why they like certain shows. I've always thought of it more as stupid fucking idiots doing dumb shit. I'm fully aware that I'm a weirdo. I've asked the most manly dudes around to normal, casual friends if they hated this clip as much as me. And almost all of them had no issue with it. Many even said it was cute. On the other hand, I look at that clip and cringe. It makes me uncomfortable and most of all annoyed, because I feel
yeah, it's not the style of it's not the style, it's not the type of content I'm interested in. But is it worth, like, ask yourself this, like, is it worth actually like going on a tangent and become hateful of this media rather than just ignoring it and moving on, you know? This is what I meant.
I feel entertainment is at its best when the line between realism and fiction is distorted. I enjoy media that provides a reflection of very real things that we experience, whether it be in dialogue, delivery, or the actions the characters take, and then flip it and do something crazy with the story. As I reflect on my favorite shows, almost all of them fit under that description. I thought of this in the shower while I was washing my balls and threw in the script, so it might not be that airtight yet. But I've noticed that anime can frequently put up a barrier between that realism and the characters they portray. There's certain formulas and tropes that authors feel they have to play into to appeal to certain audiences. In weaker shows, the main character will be some whiny bitch boy that is in love with justice, to which he's rewarded with a slew of girls that are attracted to his righteousness. Does that happen in real life? Not really, but as a kid I used to imagine that's what would happen to me, and I really enjoyed shows like that. That's why this character type exists. Female archetypes like tsunderes, yanderes, etc. that you would hate to interact with are popular because author knows that works for whatever reason. Even in good shows, you'll have characters which are basically downloaded from a list of personality types instead of being a product of reality. So to me, the less that characters act like anime characters, the better they are, with exceptions. Cute anime girls annoy the shit out of me because it's not genuine. I've spoken to at least 1,000 women at this point and never met someone who genuinely speaks and acts like this. Maybe you
Yeah, but wouldn't be the world a better place if some people did talk like this? Like,
have, but when I see it, I imagine some dude who's completely estranged from the youth writing his fifth knowing that's what's hot right now. Am I overthinking things? Yes, but I'm putting words into a feeling that's been sitting in my belly for years. So when you take this and make a real person act like they're that, it doubles the cringe factor. I don't want to see a person pretending to be a thing, pretending to be another thing that doesn't exist and never has. So that's why it irritates me so much when I see a VTuber going, it's uncanny, uncomfortable, and not genuine to me. Even though
this is actually how Japanese people talk. Like, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
oh, blah blah blah, that's not the point. They're supposed to adopt the persona. It's how I feel, dude. There ain't much I can do to change it. Let's examine the various types. Baby talk. This is pretty much ubiquitous in the VTuber community and also the one that makes me the most mad. Japanese VTubers will talk like this.
そういうモードが実装されているんですが、今回ご紹介するクリップはこの
American VTubers will talk like this.
Out there!
Oh, weekend on the beast die. Hi, Sensei. How are you?
Oh, here comes the airplane. Oh, no, I'm made stinky winky. My diaper. Oh, change me, please. I like to imagine there's a bald white guy in a big ass pull up behind the monitor. That makes me laugh the most. I'm sure it's a very pretty adult woman on the other end. Don't get upset. Now, quick quiz. Are we watching the season finale of Teletubbies or Twitch?
Ding, 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 ding. Wow!
I need you.
I am also against infantilization of like VTubing and people in general. Like if you pretend to be a little boy or a little girl, this is really uncanny. Okay? Like to be honest. But I think that if there is not that, I think that like these remarks are come from someone that dislike a media and is basically like hustled, like fucking assaulted by this media, by the algorithm. And basically you see this media and he fucking hates it. And each time the algorithm is like, but watch it anyway, and basically got fucking like mad at it, and this is why I hate them.
You to tell me honestly if this is something you picture me watching. I believe this comes directly from the cute anime girl phenomenon that I just got talking about, so obviously it's not my thing. English. A lot of fellows think it's cute to see VTubers learn English. At times, alright, it is kind of cute.
Netflix. Netflix.
Once they discovered a good amount of their audience was English speaking, VTubers began learning and communicating with a whole new side of their audience. Sometimes good,
내가
sometimes bad, and funny most of the time. I think this is what hooked a lot of casual audience members. Of all the clips I've seen in research, a strong amount of them contained English, which is just English with a heavy Japanese accent. English. Weeaboos. On the flip side, we have Becca's, Hannah's, and Olivia's that have mastered the Japanese tongue.
body pillow as well.
Let me just check one thing real quick. Okay.
Has
What?
I feel like an old man. I know this type of thing is supposed to be cute, but I don't get why. You also get sporadic, random Japanese words to really seal the deal. Like they make a mistake and go, "Gomenasai, sorry, mistake desu." A favorite of mine is this ara shit.
What? Did you just...
Ara, ara. Ara, ara.
It gets weeb boys all flustered, so there's this song and dance of VTubers pretending like they don't want to do it, and then just going hard as fuck as soon as they commit. Oh, Nani? You guys want me to say it? Fine. Like, dude, you clearly wanted to do that. Now you've soured my mood, and frankly, I don't want to finish these nuggies. Normals. During my research, I found a few chicks talking in their normal voice, chilling with a VTuber avatar. I thought, this is an actual person speaking to me right now, which threw me off after listening to high-pitched squeals all day. Pretty chill. Which goes to show you can't really throw a blanket statement on all VTubers. Now let's go back to throwing blankets on VTubers. Mutes.
This dude is actually pretty funny.
There are VTubers that stand there, and stand there, and stand there.
All right.
Oh, they were
now that's taken
typing the
care
whole
of.
time. This one uses text-to-speech or speech bubbles while others sit menacingly. While I know I personally can't appreciate the other types of VTubers, and that's clearly on me, what is going on here? I genuinely want to know because I can't even generate a theory. Please comment. This channel is like a creepypasta. It's extremely uncanny to my gaijin eyes.
I completely agree with that.
Let me put you down for some fucking reason. Okay, I gotta stand up.
Zentreya is another insane case because she's actually humongous. Not just the tits, but she's raised $42,000 in 5 hours before. Just vibing, typing, taking hella long between responses.
Check it out. Actually, it makes me curious about like. Okay.
Many definitions. These two have been able to achieve a high level of success that I think anyone would be envious of by completely breaking the mold in an already outlandish market. That is commendable. Yet, behind our backs, who could have predicted the dark secret lurking behind the scenes? Everyone predicted that. This is NoraCat. You might have seen this clip floating around. Their popularity plummeted after this incident, but like, what did you expect? A hot lady? You expected a hot lady with boobs to be using a fucking text-to-speech voice. The only people I know who do that is Reddit. It's pretty messed up that the dude isn't doing so great now. He seems like a chill guy, so if you're ever in the States, we can smoke or something and talk about the VTuber industry. That's not a conversation I want to have sober. So that's the mutes. Revolutionary in their own way, confusing in mine. Now, you can't have VTubers without an audience, right? Casuals. Normal people. There are tons of people attracted to the idea of cute girls saying and doing ridiculous shit. Some
Yeah, because okay, I will give you the reason. So you have the fucking like choice, right? I will give you the reason. I will give you the reason. Um. I will give you the reason. Of like so you either watch
folks even had me
this,
thinking, okay, that was kind of cute.
okay?
Yuppie!
I assume
Okay, you can. So for like the normies, right? The normie, he has the UP, like he has the choice of this or this, between this or this. Or I'll even like fucking like a legend, like I think like, and you're like, why do people fucking like choose the fucking cute girl? I don't fucking know, but like it's like some people prefer to that rather than someone screaming at the fucking screen because top lane failed again, and people are not nice and fuck you. Like, but yeah.
these are one of the most popular viewers on YouTube, but I have no idea. Simps. I don't really need to explain this one.
Yeah, this is where I draw the limit, right? Over sexualized content is like the fact that a girl is pretty, or like the fact that like a girl is just like going around like doing cute things while being pretty. If this causes you problems and it makes you a fucking parasocial viewer, well, that's on you, boy. That's on you, the virgin. Okay. But like the like VTubers that take themselves for children, or like really sexualized content on public platforms accessible to everyone. This is where I actually draw the line. Where I think this is the limit. Like this should be regulated. This should be banned.
Obviously, there's a good amount of people that want to bang these things, which brings in a fair amount of viewers. Actually, remember when Project Melody came out on Chatterbait and broke all sorts of records and everyone was salty? Yeah, there's a market for this. Of course, the girls are aware, so they'll make allusions to sexual acts as the chat pogs incessantly.
Tight. Like a field mouse.
Which is also like half the VTuber recommendations I get. For the record, I would do the exact same thing. If I were female, my butthole would look like the inside of a box of Punky, which is far worse than moaning into the mic. I just think it's funny. When you work out, what noise do you make? Usually like, or what? You don't go. There's people that come for that, much like any other industry, but I think horny boys make up a pretty good chunk of the fan base. Weeaboos. If I enjoyed pure, innocent, fake women, VTubers would be awesome. Let's say I like a slice of life show with a bunch of little girls.
Yeah, but when it comes to like fucking like the industry, you know who the fuck like to watch other girls doing streaming or content creation? Girls. You know what is great for a girl? To have like a representation of her gender in an industry. But there's only horny boys as well. Like there are like mega simps as well. But like you need to fucking think like some people really fucking tend to forget that women exist, that girls exist, you know, like, and that like, and that they represent 50% of the fucking like sentient population of this fucking like planet, you know. And it's like, take the fucking hint and try to fucking remember that, because like some people tend to fucking forget that like they are like, usually they have more they finish their fucking studies. They have better results than us at every fucking test that we've ever taken, and they have the same phone, the same fucking computer, and the same fucking access to information that we do. So don't forget that these people, like the other race, you know, like the male race and the girl race, like they also exist, and it's really great to fucking have a representant in other platforms representing your fucking gender. Like, and this sounds like stupid. Well, imagine you're a dude that like fucking likes try to fucking watch YouTube, but there's only girls. Just reverse the fucking thing, and then you discover that like there are some boys that like do fucking like YouTube videos as well. You feel represented and you're happier because you're not a fucking girl. You get it?
Why would I not want to watch a person in real life who embodies a ton of these characteristics react to stuff live? Those fictional characters that are so out of reach for us are suddenly something you can connect and interact with. I think this is a very unique relationship and can see why people gravitate towards VTubers. There's also dudes that love that Jawnhto shit. The last 72 hours of my life has been dedicated to researching these guys, so I've honestly been on a roller coaster of emotion. Initially, I despised them. In the middle, I despised them. And in the end, I despised them. But during all that, I never stopped thinking, yeah, that's on me. I'm never going to be in the loop, and I'm cool with that. VTubers are going to be here for a long time.
And this is what's great about this guy, that like he tells you his opinion, and I think that like some of it was just like humor or unhinged, but like he is aware, and this is not like the fucking like fucking people that rage over stuff without this knowledge. He's out of the loop. It doesn't interest him. It's fine. Like it doesn't mean that his fucking life is over, or that like he will fucking like become ill because some tuber said the word ara a little bit too fucking loud and he heard about it.
Whether we like it or not, and they have a brilliant future full of boundless possibilities. Still gonna make fun of my friends for watching that baby shit. But most importantly, I've learned that if you can't beat them, you gotta get better than them. It's Wanko time, fuckers! Catch me streaming with my new avatar, Wanko. I know it's very disrespectful for big YouTubers to hop on the VTuber trend because it's a very niche and not well-known market, but I hope you guys can forgive me. Subscribe, I talk about anime, and comment. I reply to those. I'm sure this comment section is gonna be real fun. But did I mention to forget that Wanko will debut the arrival of our newest sponsor, NordPass? There's a free version, so listen. Your password is definitely the same on your Facebook, YouTube, Amazon, etc. So let's say one of your passwords is compromised. Like what happens to my mom every month. I don't know how she does it or what site she's using. She finds a way. Someone who steals your Facebook password has access to literally everything you love or care about because that one password you have is your lifeline. Good job, Mom. It's way more common than you think. In fact, if you were reading manga using manga decks lately, well, when you have something like NordPass, you can make the most complicated passwords ever, and NordPass will just remember it for you. You can even generate a unique password using the app, which can then be accessed on iOS, Android, or whatever computer you're using. You don't have to worry about using the same one password anymore. Initially, I was unsure— God, this avatar sucks at tracking my mouth. I was unsure whether or not to take this sponsor for two reasons. Giving my passwords to a company seems sketchy as hell, so I was delighted to find out that not even the people who work for NordPass can access your passwords. But I would have to manually add in every single password I've ever made, which sounds like a pain in the ass. Psych! NordPass will let you import all your passwords from whatever browser you're using. There's even a free version, so I literally see no reason not to at least try it out. But if you want to access a ton more features like data breach scanning, having access to the app on more devices and such, you can get 50% off a 1-year plan using code SCAMBOLIREVIEWS. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Okay, this was an interesting video. I think like he concluded well by saying it's not my thing, and it doesn't mean that it's that is not good content. And because of that, I respect a lot his opinion. I think sometimes it was a little bit too mean, too cruel, because I actually kind of like it. But yeah,